Hello everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Today is 30th of June and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis. Guys, in the video we'll discuss entire analysis of Hindu with the background, and I would like to tell you that you can download the explainer notes of this session from our Telegram channel. Okay guys, apologies, I forgot to wear the mic. So a very good morning to all of you, and now let's start with the video. First of all, you can download the explainer notes of this entire session from our Telegram channel. Link for Telegram channel is given in description box in YouTube. Now, starting up, first of all, let's see the overview of entire newspaper so that we can understand that which articles are important for the today's in the today's newspaper. So first article, Tamil Nadu governor dismisses minister, backtracks later. Now, from a couple of months, we have seen that there are clashes that have happened between the elected government and the governor. And the elected governments, they say that the governor is acting on the behest of the central government, and this dispute is particularly more concerning in the states which are being ruled by the different political parties. In the case of Tamil Nadu, we have seen that many a number of a times the clashes between the government and the governor office has happened. Just few months back, on the motion of thanks, there were certain references that were dropped by the governor which were not liked by the cabinet in Tamil Nadu, and now one more instance have happened. So basically, the Tamil Nadu governor has unilaterally dismissed one of a minister. Now the point or the question that comes here is that how the governor can do this particular thing, because governor doesn't has the discretionary power in this respect. Governor has to act on the aid and advice of the council of minister. Though that particular order was backtracked, but this particular thing has again opened up a new potential controversy. Now understand one particular thing on this issue. In one from tomorrow onwards, there are so many editorials that are going to come that okay, this has happened, this was the Supreme Court judgment, that is the precedence and all such kind of a things. So right now you are not required to go and do a lot of research here. Don't waste your effort. Automatically there is editorials will be coming in 1 or 2 days, and all the dimensions with respect to this issue and related things will take there. Okay, so I hope that you have understood. Then further moving on, after that Rahul flies to riot hit Manipur. So Manipur issue is going on. Then we have these advertisements in city section. Largely we have the regional political issues, law and order related issues, advertisements. Nothing much is important in this particular section. So directly we'll reach and we'll come to the editorial page. Now this is a spotlight article talking about a diamond city in distress. So guys, you might be knowing about the Surat, city of the diamonds. So Surat is a city which is the hub for polishing and processing of the diamonds, and it has the biggest facilities for the diamond processing and polishing. But because of this Russia-Ukraine war that is going on, there are a lot of impact on the diamond industry of the Surat. Okay, the exports, imports of the diamonds, they have got impacted, and the workers who are working in these factories, they have been forced to take unpaid leaves. Okay, working hours have been reduced, their salaries have been reduced. So this article is talking about the crisis going on there, and largely the how these people are suffering. Then we have this Metro Plus page, nothing much important is given. Then we have editorial page. Okay, so on one hand we have this particular article talking about the food inflation. So yesterday also we have seen that the food prices, they have increased a lot, and food inflation is particularly concerning. Okay, but one more thing, you are not required to see that for example, for example, what is the price of the tur dal, what is the price of onion, potato, how much percentage they have increased, etc. Such data, lot of such data has been given. Again, why you are not required to track this particular data? Because for UPSC exam, not important, and these data tend to change over a period of time. Here we have an article between two books. We'll see what the article is talking about. Okay, uh, Belgrade being a Muslim in the new India. Now, guys, the article is basically talking. The article is saying this particular thing, that to be a Muslim in the present day India, fine, it is very difficult, okay, how the people are being exploited, how they are being harassed and all such kind of things, and particular incidents are being taken up, and particularly the political parties, how they are not stopping these particular kind of things, such has been given. Now understand this thing, that the article contains a lot of personal remarks, and the article is in a particular type of a tone, that for UPSC CSE exam, academic substance is not given in this particular article. If you want to read it for your interest, then you can read. But for UPSC CSE exam, the content is not there in this article. Okay. Then moving on, has the Bhadralo culture failed? We'll see this article. Then further moving on, coming to text and context page, exploring Assam's delimitation draft. So we'll see what is this delimitation draft, what is the controversy that has came here in this particular direction. Then the open market sale scheme for wheat and rice. We'll say this article also. Then this is the limelight article, newer shades of khaki in Tamil cinema, shifting dynamics of the silver screen cop. Okay, so basically guys, the plots of the different movies, media, fine, and the depiction of police has been talked about. Again, no need to go too much in detail in this particular article for exam. The substance is not given. Then further moving on, after that guys, here we have one important article, India Philippines to explore scope of joint sales. We'll take this article. Then India's largest radio telescope plays vital role in detecting universe vibration. We'll take this article. Then after that, moving on, we largely have here the political statements and issues that have come. Okay, no Eid namaz in Purola. Okay, so recently there was this riots happened here. Okay, then coming to the world page. Okay, unrest spreads in France over police shooting of teen. Okay, now understand one thing, that I have told you many number of times earlier also, that when we talk about the international page, world page, these evolutionary details, okay, or these things are not important. What is important is either any news concerning India's foreign policy, or any news where India's interest will be impacted, or India's bilateral multilateral relation. These kind of things are important. So you are not required to track all these particular kind of things. Will appeal decision against Rwanda policy, Sunak. Okay, then further, AI is growth opportunity for TCS. So TCS, Tata Consultancy Service, they have made a statement that artificial intelligence, okay, energy transitions right now are going on in the world. Okay, so all these particular things are disruptive kind of technologies. So the Tata will also embrace the change which will be brought by the AI and all such kind of things. Then we have largely here the corporate trends. Okay, and then we have the sports page. Okay, so this is guys all about the newspaper for today. And in science page guys, again from last 2-3 days we are seeing every day that the articles that are coming are not that much important for our exam. For example, today's article, re-evaluating indiscriminate use of BMI to make conclusions on health. Okay, so basically guys, when we talk about the BMI, body mass index. Okay, so when we talk about that guys, the body mass index, it is often said, now see, the body mass index and your height, from so long it is being said that they have a correlation, and if you have a high body mass index, then you might become prone to many of the diseases, okay, many of the non-communicable diseases. Or high BMI is often called as the signal of a obesity. But now the American Medical Association is saying that no, that is not correct. Some people might have high BMI. It is more to do with their genetic structure. It is more to do their race. It is more to do with their geographical location where they are staying. So we cannot have one fixed parameter of a particular BMI. For some people, it tend to be more, and it is not harmful for them. Okay, so just evaluating the BMI, okay, it is not a perfect indicator of evaluating the health. This particular thing has been said. Okay, fine. So this is guys all about this analysis or the overview of the newspaper, and now let's discuss all the relevant articles one by one in detail. Now one thing I have told you many number of times, that why we see this overview, it is to understand that which type of articles you should read, which type of articles are not to be read, and what articles you just need to see in headlines, okay, or just below the headline there is 2-3 line description, that only you need to read. Because I often find this particular thing that the aspirants are struggling while reading the newspaper. They say that it takes 5 6 hours 4 hours to read the newspaper. Why? Because often you are reading those kind of articles which will not make any sense for our exam. So learning that skill is also very important. Fine. Now moving on, and let's take all the articles one by one. So this is the synoptic notes that you can download from our Telegram channel, and in every class we start with the GS quotation that can be used to complement our answers in GS 1, 2, 3 or 4. And today we'll take the quotation from William Slim. So William Slim says that moral courage is higher and a rarer virtue than physical courage. Physical courage. Okay. So guys, understand this thing. Suppose I'm taking a class and a snake comes in the class. Okay. Now I have to take some action to protect the other people also who are there, so that they are not harmed by that snake. I have to act in the face of this adversity. This is my physical courage. But more important than the physical courage is the moral courage. What is moral courage? Moral courage is to speak your mind even when you find that your ideas might not be accepted, even when you think that what you say might be unpopular, people might not like you for that particular thing. Raising your voice for the correct things, that requires moral courage. And often when the injustices happen in the society, to raise our voices against those injustices, we need to have the moral courage. So the freedom, the great freedom fighters of India, people such as Gandhiji, the freedom fighters such as Bhagat Singh, all these people, they raised their voice against the injustice of the Britishers, and that was the example of moral courage. This moral courage is more important, higher, and actually it is rarer than the physical courage. Okay, you can use this particular idea in GS paper number 4 ethics. GS paper number 4 ethics. Okay, so I hope you got that. Now starting up with the first article for today. So the first article that we are going to take is this Assam's delimitation draft. Assam's delimitation draft. Now we'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 2, issues related to polity. Issues related to polity. First of all, some things I want to tell that right now the draft has been given. Draft has been given. It means it is not final. Fine, these particular recommendations that have been given, they will be discussed by the political parties, and finally they will then decide whether it has to be accepted or not. Okay, now let's understand this particular thing. So basically guys, you might have heard about the delimitation exercise. You might have read it in your CRT or in your polity book. Now first of all, let's understand that what is the delimitation exercise. Basically guys, in India we have this representative democracy, where we choose our representatives for making the policy, for making the policy and other particular kind of matters. These representatives are MPs or MLAs. Now every representative, every MP and MLA will represent a particular constituency. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that India is divided in so many of the constituencies. There will be the constituencies at the level of state. For the state assembly there will be the constituencies. Then for the parliament there will be the constituency. Now we try to ensure that every constituency has similar number of voters, okay, because every constituency will have one representative. So number of people in these constituencies need to be same. Are you getting it or not? Fine. Suppose there is a very big district, and it has a huge population. Okay, then that could be divided in multiple constituencies. Okay, so the idea of dividing the country in the constituencies, is to ensure that every constituency has similar number of voters. Okay, and from time to time, now understand, from time to time population will change, and as population will change, we will redraw the constituencies, we will redesign the constituencies, new constituencies will be created. Okay, so for this particular purpose, delimitation commission is constituted. Now what has happened recently, the election commission of India has released a proposal has released a proposal for redrawing the constituencies in the state of Assam. Now two things you need to understand. First of all, the number of seats that are there in Assam, the number of constituencies that are there in Assam, their number will be unchanged. Okay. For example, there were how many assembly constituencies? 126. And how many parliamentary seats, parliamentary constituencies were there? 14. They will stay same. But what will happen? Their existing constituencies will be changed. How it will be changed? See, for example, some constituencies will be merged together. Some constituencies will be merged together. Some constituencies might be bifurcated. Okay. But at the end of the day, the number will stay same. The number will stay same. Okay. So now let's understand further in detail that what issues have come. So when we talk about delimitation, it is the process of redrawing the boundaries of Lok Sabha and State Assembly. Okay, and it is done on the basis of the recent census. Fine. Why? So that each seat has almost equal number of voters. Now it is usually carried after every census, and delimitation commission is formed. Delimitation commission is formed under the Delimitation Commission Act. And this delimitation commission will recommend that which constituency is to be changed, okay, and all such kind of things. Now, earlier delimitation commissions, they have been set in 1952, 1962, 1972. But actually what happened, it was suspended in 1976 that we will not change the constituencies for a particular period of time. Why? Because India at that point of a time was going for the population control. So it said that the states which will reduce their population or the constituencies which will reduce their population, they might be at a disadvantage. And a lot of changes are about to come because of these family planning measures. Population will drastically change. So for few years, it was decided that delimitation will not be taken up. First, this ban was imposed for 25 years. Then again, it got increased for 25 years. Okay. Now, what happened? The center, however, in 2020, the center in 2020 reconstituted the Delimitation Commission for the 5 states, and these 5 states were Arunachal Pradesh, number 1, number 2 Assam, number 3 Jammu and Kashmir, number 4 Manipur, and number 5 is Nagaland. So it was decided that for these 5 states, delimitation will be done. Okay, and now what has happened? The delimitation for the Assam has been presented. Delimitation proposal for the Assam has been proposed. Okay, so 24 assembly seats would be reshaped and renamed. Okay, and it has been provided that the number of seats that are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe will be increased. For example, the seats for the scheduled caste would increase from 16 to 19, and the seats for the scheduled tribe would increase from 8 to 9. Okay, so scheduled tribe and scheduled caste. Scheduled tribe will be 16 to 19 and scheduled caste will be from 8 to 9. Scheduled tribe, scheduled caste. Okay, so this is a change that they have proposed. Now guys, understand this particular thing, that what will happen as these particular constituencies will be changed. So some of the constituencies will be merged together. Okay, then let's say 2 constituencies will be merged together. Okay, so what will happen? Many of the seats that were earlier there, they will be erased. Many of the members will lose their membership. And it has been said that the seats that are being erased, okay, that includes even the seat of the assembly speaker, okay, and even some ministers at the level of the state, they will also lose their seats. Why? Because their constituency will be merged in some other constituency or something like that. In total, it is being said that 39 MLAs and 5 MPs will lose their seats. Okay, now they are protesting because for them it is a political loss. Now, what are the criticisms that have come together? So, we will see all these criticisms one by one. Number 1, the Ahom community, they are disappointed because they say that the assembly seats have been reduced in the eastern part of Assam and have been increased in the western part of Assam. Okay, so the Ahom's population is more in the eastern part of the Assam. So they say that they will be at disadvantage because in the eastern part, if the seats have been reduced, they will be able to send less number of representatives in the assembly. Okay, so they are concerned. Then the next issue that has come is with respect to the use of the census data. So on the basis of the census data, we have already seen that the delimitation is carried. So the data for 2000, the data of 2001 census has been used. Now, though 2021 census has not happened, but the latest census that we have is 2011. So why 2001 data is being used? Now the political parties, they say this thing that for Jammu and Kashmir also the delimitation is going on, but there you have used 2011 census, but in Assam you have used 2001 census. Why you are doing this particular thing? Okay, this has become a controversy. Then further it is also being said that, see, the entire India's now, in 1976 it got extended for 25 years and again it got extended for 25 years. So till 2026 the entire India's delimitation exercise is frozen, and in 2026 there is a proposal that entire India's delimitation exercise will be done. So now the political parties is saying that when in 2026 the entire country's delimitation will be done, why you are doing the delimitation of Assam now? Okay, you should have waited for 4 years, 4 or 5 years, or 4 or 3 years, when the entire India's delimitation would have happened. We have carried the delimitation of Assam also. Why in a hurried manner it is being carried? Moreover, some of the political parties is saying that already NRC is being updated, National Register of Citizens. Okay, now National Register of Citizens will be a list of the bona fide citizens of the Assam. Now it is being said that a large number of Bangladeshis have entered and we need to remove them. Okay, so NRC is being updated. So before, without the NRC getting updated, why you are coming up with this particular exercise? So it has opened up many of the question marks. Okay, and because of this particular thing, this issue has become controversial. Okay, and now the Election Commission of India says that we have done this particular thing only after taking in account the views of the political parties, but now they are opposing. So this is all about the issue that has been there. I hope that you have understood it. Beyond this, guys, you are not required to really go. You are not required to see that, okay, the list or the name of all the constituencies that are getting reshaped, etc. Such things are not important for the exam. Okay, now moving to the next article. Moving to the next article. The open market sale scheme, for wheat and rice. Okay, now this particular issue is coming in the news from so many of the days. Okay, and in today's text and context page also it has come. So this particular article will see with respect to the GS paper number 3, issues related to food and agriculture, and even GS paper number 2 in issues of federalism. We'll see this particular article, issues of federalism. Okay, how we'll understand that? Now, first of all, guys, what is this open market sale scheme that is being talked in this particular article? Open market sale scheme. So basically, understand this thing. Let's understand this particular thing. Now, suppose this is a farmer, and farmer grows the, this is a farmer, and let's say farmer is growing wheat. Now farmer has an option that farmer can either sell this particular wheat to market, or it can sell this particular wheat to the government under the minimum support price. Now what happens? Government, often the farmer, a large number of farmers will selling the wheat to the or rice to the government under the minimum support price. So what will happen? This particular food will then go to the Food Corporation of India, FCI. Now Food Corporation of India will be responsible for distributing this particular food to the poor people under the National Food Security Act. So under National Food Security Act, what happens? 5 kg food grain, 5 kg food grain per person is given at a very subsidized price. 3 rupees kg rice are sold, 2 rupees kg wheat is sold, 1 rupee kg coarse grains are sold. Okay, so at 3 rupees per kg rice, 2 rupees kg wheat, okay, the food will be given under the NFSA, National Food Security Act. Okay, now so this is the system that is followed. Then guys, secondly, even after even after supplying the food grains under the National Food Security Act. One more thing I want to tell you, that under National Food Security Act, there are two type of beneficiaries. One are the priority beneficiaries, where 5 kg food grain per person are given, and other are Antyodaya Ann Yojana beneficiaries. Antyodaya Ann Yojana beneficiaries are the poorest of the poor. They are given a flat entitlement, that is the 35 kg per family. Even if there are the 3 members, then also they will get the 35 kg. Okay, so they are given more. Okay, so in this way, the FCI procures the food from the farmer, then supplies to the poor people under the National Food Security Act. Now, but still there is a lot of surplus. Still there is a lot of surplus that is there with the FCI. Okay, because whatever the quantities the farmer have, they can sell to FCI. There is no limitation. So often there is a surplus. Now that surplus is sold in the open market. That surplus is sold in the open market through the open market sale scheme. Through the open market sale scheme. Now, for selling this particular surplus food grains in the market, what happens? There are the e-auctions that are announced by the FCI from time to time. And in this e-auction, traders, bulk consumers, let's say there is a Gurdwara. Now the Gurdwara feeds food to the hungry people every day. So bulk users, traders, retail chains, okay, they can buy the food grains at a predetermined prices. Okay, and at the same time the states are also allowed to procure the food grain. They don't need to go in, they don't need to participate in auction, but at a predetermined price the states can also procure the food grains. Okay, now guys, understand this thing, that the states, many of the state governments apart from the NFSA, they are giving additional food grains to the poor people. Okay, so many of the states procure the food grains under the open market scheme from the Food Corporation of India. Now what has happened? Recently the government has decided to amend this open market sales scheme. Government has provided that we will restrict the quantity of food that can be availed by a particular state. For example, earlier a particular state could avail 3000 metric ton food. 3000 metric ton food grains could be availed, but now it has been said that 10 to 100 metric ton is the maximum quantity that they can procure. 10 to 100 metric ton, this is the maximum quantity they can procure. Earlier it was 3000 metric ton. Now the states are saying that deliberately the center government has done this particular thing. For example, what has happened, many of the state governments, they have come out with schemes where they are giving more and more food grains. For example, Karnataka recently have come out with the Annabhagya scheme, and under the Annabhagya scheme, the marginalized families, they will be given higher food grains than the NFSA. For example, NFSA provides 5 kg food grain per person, but the Karnataka is going to give 10 kg food grain per person. Now obviously they need extra food grains, and for that they were thinking that they will procure from OMSS, but now the center has changed that particular scheme. So Karnataka says that deliberately this is being done to us, because in Karnataka Congress government has come. So they said that deliberately the center government fine is doing this with us. It has become a kind of a federal dispute. But at the same time, the Food Corporation of India says that there is no political reason behind this particular exercise, but there are other reasons that why the quantities have been restricted. They say, number one, they want to accommodate to small and other marginal buyers also. Now understand this thing. Earlier what used to happen, some buyers, big buyers, not the states, but some other big buyers, they will buy a lot more food and then they will create a monopoly. They will create an artificial scarcity of the food grain and then will sell those food grains at very high prices. So they used to do this thing. So basically, in order to break such kind of a monopolization by certain sellers, they have restricted the quantities. They want that this particular scheme should reach to more and more players. And right now, we also see that the food inflation is also very much high. Okay, so for increasing the reach of this particular article, or increasing the reach of this particular article, these particular changes have been brought. Okay, so this is something that has come, but anyhow it has turned into a kind of a political controversy. Okay, we there might be the possibility that the misunderstanding from both the sides should be there, but there needs to be a kind of a dialogue, federal dialogue, okay, to resolve this. Is it clear or not? Okay, Sir, for delimitation, 2000 census should be used, not 2011 data. How for Jammu and Kashmir 2011 census is used? This is the exact thing that what is the logic of using a particular census center needs to clarify. That is the thing that we have seen in the previous article, that why you are using this census or this census or that census. You need to come out with that particular logical justification. Okay. Moreover, it is also being said by many of the parties that anyhow now the 2021 census should be conducted immediately and that should be used in 2026. Many viewpoints are there that have come. Okay. Then India's largest radio telescope plays vital role in detecting the universe's vibration. Now, we'll see this particular article with respect to the GS paper number 3, Science and Technology, and in the prelims examination, there are sometimes these kind of things that can be asked. Okay. Now, basically, guys, first of all, this is a moment of pride for India. This is a movement of, just a minute. Okay. Yes, guys. So, India's largest radio telescope plays a vital role in detecting universe's vibration. So, basically, what has happened recently, the consortiums of six countries, what they have done, they have detected the vibrations from the pulsars. They have detected the vibrations from the pulsars. Now, what does it mean? So, let's understand in this very simple kind of terms. So, basically, what has happened? An international team of astronomers, okay, and these astronomers are from India, Japan, and Europe. Okay, in total, what has happened? Six of the world's most sensitive radio telescopes have been used. Radio telescopes have been used to identify the vibrations of the fabric of universe. Okay, now understand this thing. In India, we have giant meter wave radio telescope at Pune. We have the giant meter wave radio telescope at Pune. Now this particular telescope has been used, okay, for this particular identification of the waves. Okay, so here you can see in this particular picture, this is the India's largest telescope, that is the giant meter wave radio telescope, fine, in the Pune district. Fine. So basically, what has happened? So basically, the astronomers, they have used these most sensitive radio telescopes. Okay, and by what has happened by these particular telescopes, they have found the evidence of the vibrations that is being caused into the universe. And how these particular vibrations are being caused? They are being caused by the pulsars. Now, what are the pulsars? Now, pulsars are rapidly rotating neutron stars. Now, understand this particular thing, that suppose there is a star. Now, we know this particular thing, that a star has a particular lifespan. So, when a big star goes towards the end of its lifespan, it will turn into the red giant, then ultimately it will turn into the neutron star, and that is the official death of a star. So basically, these neutron stars, fine, basically what are the pulsars? Pulsars are these rapidly rotating neutron stars, and because of that particular thing, they are leading to a lot of gravitational waves. They are leading to the gravitational vibrations, and these gravitational vibrations have now been tracked on these satellites. And out of these six satellites, one is the giant meter wave radio telescope of, sorry, I use the word satellite, not the satellite, telescope. So these gravitational waves have been trapped by the telescopes, and one of them is the giant meter wave radio telescope situated in the Pune. Now, these particular things will be very much important to understand the mysteries of the universe. Now, understand this thing. These basically pulsars, or these rapidly rotating neutron stars, they are called as the world's best timed clock. Why? Because they release a particular gravitational wave at a particular time frequency, okay, and that time frequency is basically the time frequency is most perfect. Is it clear or not? So this is a kind of a scientific achievement for India. Fine. I hope that I hope that you have understood it. Now moving on into the next article. Between two books, a revelatory social history. Okay. Now basically guys, the article doesn't contains too much of a substance. The article is actually having a lot of abstract kind of content there. It has a literary undertone. If you want to read it for the pleasure of reading, you can, but largely the article is actually talking about the plot of the two books which have been very much instrumental in tracing the social change that is going on, and how the society of India, the social change is getting impacted with the modernity, technology, modern developments. So the article is talking about the two books, The Human Factor in Indian Development and The Dreamers, how young Indians are changing their world. Okay, now the article is talking about this thing that today there are technologies, internet, all these things that are coming, and it has led a very big impact on the Indian society. So the technological change, it is impacting social and political movements across the India. Okay, and increase in participation in the modern economy by the people. Education, it has also been impacted or has been changed because of the technology. Okay, moreover, it has also, the article is also talking about that progressive culture. Okay, progressive culture, for example, today's culture of liberalism, okay, that culture is rocking or it is impacting the old beliefs, old values. For example, today's liberalistic culture is impacting the old beliefs, old values associated with patriarchy, etc. Is it clear or not? Fine. So this is something that has happened. So the modernity is coming, technological changes are coming, and they are impacting as how the society is moving forward. So this is something which has been given in this particular article. Beyond that, nothing much substance has been given in it. Okay, I hope that you have understood. And now moving to the next article. Has the Bhadralo culture in Bengal faded? Okay, now what do we understand by the Bhadralok? So basically Bhadralok means the intellectual class of Bengal. Okay, intellectual class, well-read class. Now we know that whenever we talk about the Bengal's rich cultures, Bengal's rich traditions, Bengal's intellectualism has been something which is quite fascinating, and it has been there since the colonial times. So basically the intellectual class of West Bengal, they are called as the Bhadralok, and they have always been very much important in shaping the culture, in shaping the politics, in shaping the policy of the state. They have even shaped the cinema. Okay, so timeless cinema have also been has also been led by this Bhadralok class. Now always the Bhadralok class, they have played a very important role. Even the members of this particular class might not be that much large, but the role or the impact that they have onto the Bengali society, it has been huge. Now these the Bhadralok community or Bhadralok class was made up of largely three castes, that is the Brahmins, Vaidyas and Kayasth. Okay, Brahmins, Vaidyas and Kayasth. Okay, and during the colonial times, they actually got transformed in one status group. So these three castes became one community. These three castes became the one status group, and more people have tried to join this Bhadralok class through the education. Okay, so this Bhadralok class became an aspirational class for the people. They want to get educated and they wanted to be the part of this Bhadralok class. Okay, so this is something. Now it has been said that now what is happening, the Bhadralok classes influence is getting reduced. Okay, now there are the new structures that have come, new social setups that have come, technology has changed, economy has changed. Okay, startups actually are coming. So what has happening, new forces have been unleashed which is impacting the influence of the Bhadralok. So it is being the debate is being done, okay, that is it the end of the period where the Bhadralo class was the most dominant. So they say that the power that Bhadralo class held, it has lasted for such a long period and it will never vanish overnight. But yes, we see that this might be a kind of a dusky period for the class. This is something which is being provided. So that is all about it. And now moving to the next article. India Philippines to explore scope of joint sales petrols to boost defense partnership. So basically guys, this article will see with respect to the relations of India with the far extended neighborhood. Okay, India Philippines, GS paper number 2, India Philippines relation. So basically what has happened recently, now the Philippines Secretary for Foreign Affairs, he has held a bilateral talks with Mr. S. Jaishankar and he is also on the visit to India. And the fifth meeting of the Joint Commission on Bilateral Cooperation has held. Fifth meeting of Joint Commission on bilateral cooperation between India and Philippines they have held. And they have talked on many of the things, many of the themes they have talked. Number one, they have talked on improving and enhancing the defense cooperation. They have talked about enhancing the defense cooperation. And in this particular capacity, they have said that further there will be a resident defense attache office that will be opened up in Manila by the India. Okay, so it has been said that a resident defense attache office in Manila will be opened, okay, which will further be helping in enhancing the defense cooperation between the India and Philippines. Then secondly, India is also offering the line of credit to the Philippines so that the Philippines can buy the buy naval vessels from India, so that patrolling boats etc. Philippines can buy from India. So India is extending the line of credit. Okay, then further there is the expansion of the training programs also. Fine, the India and the Philippines forces for their training, the more programs are being brought, joint exercises on maritime security, exercises on disaster response, they are also being planned. Okay, so in defense cooperation many such kind of engagements have been taken up, and along with the defense cooperation there are many other things also that have been discussed. For example, how cyber security could be strengthened, how artificial intelligence could be used for constructive purposes, for productive purposes. In the space cooperation also, the India will be helping the Philippines. So all these particular things have been taken up between the India and Philippines in this bilateral meet that has recently held. Okay, so more exchanges etc. will be done. So this is all about this particular article. Beyond that, guys, no need to go, because these meets, these bilateral talks, they are quite usual, they happen. Fine, if you want to go too much in deep, you need to go in the big ticket events. For example, recent India US visit that happened. Okay, so however, this is all about this particular article. Now I hope that you have understood it, and now we come to the main practice question for today. So question reads, what is the Election Commission's draft proposal on delimitation? Why are people opposing it? So this will be GS paper number 2, 10 marker question. Okay, so that is all guys about it. Okay, and with this we come to an end to the today's session. Okay, so guys, these are all the important articles. Editorials today are not that much substantial as they are usually. It happens on few days there will be some abstract article which might not be that important for UPSC exam. Obviously the newspaper is not just being published for the aspirants. Okay, so some days it happens. So that is all about it, guys. I hope that you have understood it, and with this we came to an end to the today's session. Now we'll meet tomorrow. Till then, please take care of yourselves. Thank you so much.